Pop art. Pop art is an art movement that appeared in London and New York City in the mid-1950s and 1960s. In a way, pop art was a reaction to the seriousness of the abstract expressionist movement. Pop art is meant to be fun, bright, and sometimes ironic and attention-getting. This type of art uses images and icons that are commonplace or popular in the modern day, hence the name pop art. Well-known celebrities, movie stars, rock stars, commercial items like soup cans and soft drinks, comic books, or any other items that are popular in the commercial world are often depicted in pop art. Andy Warhol was an American artist who was a leading figure in the New York pop art movement in the 1960s. He's best known for his portraits of celebrities, such as his iconic Marilyn Monroe series, and his illustrations of Campbell's soup cans. Andy Warhol said that he ate soup every day for lunch, and that soup was a universal appreciated food. Warhol would use a silkscreen printing method to recreate the same image again over and over. He'd use bright paint to fill the image in different colours. Andy Warhol is also known for his album covers, which add colour and sophistication to the portraits of famous musicians. Although Andy Warhol was one of the first pop artists, there are many international artists that followed in his footsteps that created their own individual pop art style. Takashi Murakami is a Japanese pop artist who incorporates motifs from Japanese traditional and popular culture into his eye-catching cartoonist art. Wedha Abdul Rashid is an Indonesian artist who has worked as an illustrator for the press industry since the 1970s, developing portraits of important figures from all backgrounds. He uses straight lines and sharp, vibrant, contrasting fills to create mosaic-looking designs that is frequently imitated today. Kurita Kent, also known as Sister Mary Kurita, was a Roman Catholic nun who used the silkscreen method to create her iconic art. Her artwork was full of messages of love and peace in the 1960s and 70s, and she is responsible for the famous 1985 Love postage stamp. Today we're going to create our own pop art inspired by Andy Warhol's soup cans, thinking about an image that's popular to us today. I've started out by dividing a plain piece of paper into four by folding it in half and then folding it in half again. I thought about what popular image I wanted to use and draw again and again for my piece of artwork. And I thought about what things are particularly associated or linked with New York. So I began doodling some different things. First of all, I thought about drawing a simple fire hydrant, and then thinking about the different images used in the pop art, the Coke cans, the soup cans. I thought about which food items I also associated with New York. Maybe you've got some ideas too of what you would draw. I tried to keep it as simple as possible because I knew the important part here was to be able to draw it again and again or repeat it. So I drew a burger. Then I thought about some different hobbies and things that I would associate it with New York. And I drew a simple image of a baseball and a baseball bat. I still hadn't decided which picture I wanted to use and repeat again and again. So I kept going. I thought about a popular food and one of my favourites. Can you guess what it is? You might want to spend a bit of time thinking about what simple image you want to draw. Remember, you need to draw it at least 4 times onto a piece of paper, so I just kept thinking about different ideas. Once I'd picked 4 ideas, I folded another piece of paper in half and half again and thought I'd think of 4 more ideas before I finally made a decision. So, I drew an American football helmet. I thought about other foods. I had my burger, so I thought I might draw a hot dog. I thought about other things I see when I'm walking around the city. And I drew a taxi cab. And finally, I decided I would do a symbol for New York City. And in bubble writing, I drew an N and a Y. Then I had to make the decision of which one of these pictures I wanted to use again and again in a repeated way, like Andy Warhol did in his collages. I decided to go with one of the simple pictures and my favourite food, the pizza. So I chose a new piece of paper, folded it in half and half again, and as I'd drawn a really clear picture of it already, I thought I would use it to trace my picture. That way I was making sure that each picture was going to be identical and exactly the same, like the pictures of Marilyn Monroe that Andy Warhol drew, or the Coke cans. So once I'd traced one, I moved the piece of paper so I had the pizza in the next box in my divided up piece of paper. And I did a second drawing, a third drawing, and a fourth drawing. Now it was all ready for me to colour in. Remembering what we know about pop art being bright and bold colours and vibrant colours, I thought I'd use oil pastels. They're nice and waxy and thick, and some really crazy neon colours here, but you can use some marker pens, or colouring pencils, or crayons. I wanted to pick a colour that was going to really stand out, so I used orange as my background. The key to colouring these in is only picking a few colours. I used one block colour for my background and then thought about one colour that I wanted my pizza to be, and I chose pink so it would stand out. And then my final decision was just to think about the colour for all of the toppings on the pizza. So I only used 3 colours. Keeping it simple makes it stand out more. Then I used these 3 colours but in a different order on my next pizza. So the toppings were blue on my first pizza, so I used the colour blue as my background on my second picture. Because in my first picture the pizza was pink, I can't have a pink pizza again, so the toppings on my second picture were going to be pink, which left finally the orange in the background to be my new pizza colour. So I used exactly the same colours again, but in a different order. Then for my final 2 pictures, I chose 3 new colours. Purple for my background, green for my toppings, and then a bright yellowy colour to finish off. I then brushed away all of the extra bits of oil pastel and I was finished.